Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dyker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome in, race fans. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles, Paul Reichert. I'm radio man Dan Dyker, and of course, it is the annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend TV show. And look what we got here behind us this year.
Oh yes,
very
sweet.
Not taken away from Drew and Back 40 Vinyls that made our Big Boar Barbecue sign, but this one is just simply outstanding.
You know, this is the first time I've ever been on this thing.
How does it feel?
Kind of cool, actually.
You may have to take a flower with you before we're all said and done.
There we go. I'll put it behind my ear or something.
Yeah, that would be very nice. So we kicked off Oktoberfest last night. The Minnesota gang is behind us here. We're going to bring them on stage in a little bit. The first annual Minnesota versus Wisconsin bowling tournament over at Features last night, Billy. What a horrible way to kick off Oktoberfest.
Well, not from Pablo's standpoint, but from mine it was pretty bad.
Bill was sweating so bad it looked like he hopped out of the shower.
Yeah, it was pretty warm in there, but hey, we had some fun. You know, it's good to get together with these guys. We're going to bring them on here. What is it, next segment, I believe it is. We got these guys coming on. Talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about racing around here in Minnesota. Always fun having these guys on at Oktoberfest.
Of course, it is Wednesday when we tape the program, and we do want to encourage you on Saturday to tune into the program as well. We're going to be live streaming it along with the radio show in the exhibition hall. Rick and Jesse come out, do a fantastic job, and a lot of people have gotten to watch that over the past years.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that these guys, Jesse and Rick behind the camera here, they live stream it for us. So, you know, if you can't make it here to Oktoberfest, at least you can watch it or listen to it on that TuneIn app. Paul?
Love that TuneIn app.
There you go. And it's a really cool deal. We'll be in the exhibition hall Saturday at noon. If you're not here, you know, come out, you know, join us on live stream or on the TuneIn app.
Well, the big story for Thursday of Oktoberfest is going to be the NASCAR late models and the sportsmen. Of course, Brandon Lemoyne's got somewhat of a buffer over Jimmy Bjorkman when we look at the Hornets. Street stocks, not as tight of a battle, but if you look at the sportsmen, where Bachman's up by 14 and Steve Carlson leads Nick Panitsky by 4. Weather's going to be favorable, and this racing is going to be right on.
And I think the Thunderstock is only like 9 points also. So you got, you know, our top 3 series have 3 really good battles going on and some outside shots in the other 2 series. So it's going to be a fun night on Thursday night. If you're watching this on Thursday night, get out here. You're not going to want to miss this.
It's been quite a while, Paul, that we've seen a late model point battle go down to the wire like this. Of course, you know, we talked several times this year. When was the last time that someone like Steve Carlson not only gave up a chance to sew things up mid-season, but then had to try to do it again later in the season and found himself only 4 points up?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened that I can recall. I've never seen Steve do that, but just a bad night at the final weekly night of racing, the double features, and Nick just pounced and almost swallowed that point lead whole.
And you haven't seen a point battle this close since Herbst and Paff just a few years ago.
Yeah, 2010 actually.
Yep.
Again, sportsman, this is going to be a dandy as well. And, you know, the big story is what's going on with Chris Webber. Chris Webber has had some engine problems this year. He came out of practice last week on Saturday, and I saw he busted a valve that he threw up on Facebook. So you got to kind of wonder, does he have a new motor, or is he going to struggle Thursday night?
He has, since he posted that he popped that motor. I haven't seen anything on social media, so we're going to be surprised Thursday night, you know, to see him roll in and to see what he has if he does roll in.
14 points right there, and for Steve Bachman, this is almost like the little boy that cried wolf. 4 straight years now, he's won the Chase Championship twice. Has a chance to win a 3rd one this year. Of course, Nick Clements got it last year.
Yep.
But 14 points, and that is a very small margin when you talk sportsman.
Yeah, anything could still happen, just like with the NASCAR late models, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Steve if he claims that championship.
And the added caveat to the sportsman feature on Thursday night is you got a lot of those Great Northern Sportsman guys coming in and running on used tires just to get a feel for the track for their Friday night show.
Well, we were watching practice on Wednesday, and we were watching some of the Great Northern Sportsman cars out there. That's going to be a race in itself as well. We're going to crown a Great Northern Sportsman champion this weekend. Mid-American Stock Cars, we're going to crown a champion there. Midwest Dash, we're going to crown a champion there. And if you look at the Great Northern Sportsman Series, Schermerhorn was back out, first time at all this. We've seen him at all this year. But I tell you what, Scott Luck was looking awfully racy, as was Jason Stark.
Yeah, if you looked at the practice times, Stark, Luck, no shock Trout was on top of the board. I think Luck was like third. Stark was fourth. So yeah, it's these guys from the Dells. They're going to have an interesting race with the rest of the crowd here Thursday and Friday.
Of course, Trout and Stark not only built those cars in the same shop with KBR Performance down in the Dells area, but they're almost identical. I mean, Jason Stark got DQ'd in our very first Great Northern Sportsman Series race this year and had a legitimate complaint, and he told Greg Oliver, hey, my car is the exact copy of Dave Trout. Why am I getting DQ'd and he's not? And that's why he just kind of stepped out of the Great Northern Sportsman Series and continued to run not only at the Dells but on the road.
Yeah, it's interesting what Jason's dealing with. It's been kind of a tough go here. I mean, like you said, with both Trouts and his car the same. I just kind of felt mystified why that happened, but it's his call about what he wants to do, so let him do it.
You know, Dan, not only do we have these great point battles going on Thursday night, but we also got our chase contenders.
Yes.
We still got our chase going on here. Late model contenders, Nick Paninsky, Cole Howland, Mike Carlson, and Tom Carlson. And Tom Carlson, the way he got in that last night, I mean, he crashed on the last lap. Had no business being in the chase this weekend, but if not for his brother borrowing another chase contender's car, putting Nick Clements out and putting Tom Carlson into the Final Four. And then, of course, the sportsman, you got your top 4 point guys, Weber, Bachman, Tom Lethe, and Sam Niles. So that's going to be an interesting race inside of the race for the points battle.
And you look at Tom Lethe, yeah, he won some of those, 3 races by DQ and then won one hands down by himself.
Yeah.
Lethe, I think, has a good chance to steal the show on Thursday night.
Oh, definitely. He's one of the more consistent guys out there. He started out with a little bit of trouble, but fixed it, got the car running the way he wanted it, and he won those, 3 or 4 in a row in the mid-season there. Well, he actually literally only won 1, and had the rest handed to him.
W's a W,
yep,
man.
That's how you get the nickname Mr. Technicality. Just ask me. Hey, another thing we want to talk about is we got a Rookies of the Year going off here on Thursday night. In the late models, Melissa Ruish, comfortable lead. She will be crowned Rookie of the Year on Thursday. In the Sportsman division, kind of tight there, just a 21-point lead for Dan Secor over Jesse Green. And in the Thunderstocks, they will be crowning Brandon Gallagher as their Rookie of the Year.
All right, we are doing this again from Oktoberfest Race Weekend, just getting things started on Wednesday, practice day. And, of course, watch our Facebook. Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing. Paul the Statman is going to be updating the Facebook all the way through the weekend.
And some of our shenanigans on the Fest Tower page.
That's the Fest Tower official Oktoberfest page. We already got that thing kick-started earlier this afternoon. Wait, when we come back, our favorite group from Minnesota is going to invade the stage. All right, yeah, I guess it's going to hold him. I'm looking at Wilson first.
We'll put him in the middle. We'll buoy it down.
Oktoberfest Race Weekend here on KQEG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
4 years in a row and counting. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Boar Barbecue. Once again, La Crosse County has voted us the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Making great ribs and great barbecue has always been my passion, and it means a great deal to me that you love what we do. If you haven't tried our ribs, pulled pork, brisket, or smoked chicken, try it and you'll agree. Big Boar Barbecue, a delicious mouthful.
Yeah!
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call today for your free estimate on a new American Standard system or schedule online at careyheating.com.
Welcome back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Knock Niles. Paul Reichert's over here helping plant the flowers like he was eating that stalk of corn.
Don't let him take a video.
Got to talk to our Minnesota guys. This has been customary here during Oktoberfest. It is the 4th year in a row now.
4th year, yeah.
That we've got the Elko Speedway being represented. We have Shakopee being represented with you three guys. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. This is fun.
So first off, I was trying to find a good way to talk about the bowling event we had last time between you and Niles, and that was a punishment you gave him.
Kinda, yeah. It was a good, friendly thing that we talked about for years, and we finally got it done. And it was a good time. Some good friends to get together and having cocktails and party it up.
See, now what he started is one of our good friends that owns a bar in downtown West Salem said after you guys go after each other for the 2nd annual, he wants to do an under a
He wants to do he wants to do a between the legs challenge where you
the
bowl
legs.
like this.
He says he has a 170 average. I'm not sure about that.
I talked to him today. I don't think he remembers that part of it.
he was not feeling any pain last night across the street. So again, hey, it was neat. We were taking pictures just before this here. This is kind of a neat thing to have you guys on here because you're on the official stage, and you were talking about the feet that have walked across this thing over the past 49 years.
I got the hair standing on the back of my neck because this is a really good stage. I mean, you think about all the people that crossed this stage and raced at this track. This is my 28th year. I've been here a long time watching all these people come. This is unbelievable. This is really cool.
Let's talk about what you guys have done this summer because I got to participate in a little bit with you. Scotty, we'll start with you, man. Talk about the fun events you guys have been doing at Elko Speedway all summer.
The main thing we do is we do the school bus races out there. We get a bunch of us. We try to get me and Todd kind of run it. We get the guys in there, and we try to get the old figure 8 guys in there. Try to keep them in somewhat of a racing situation. But yeah, it was fun having you up there, and we do the school bus figure 8s. We try to put on as good a show as we can.
Trailer race? Just did a trailer race?
I saw that. Talk about that trailer race. That looked fun.
That's the first time I've done that. That was kind of on my bucket list, and that, you got to be crazy, stupid, but you got to know what you're doing. But it's a blast. It's you can go out there, wreck crap, whatever you want to do. It's fun.
Wait, more importantly than that, how'd you get your car to the track with a trailer?
No, me and buddy Nick Oxborough, we hooked our trailers up and we drove probably 5-10 miles down the road. 100% illegal, but we did it.
I'm gonna agree with the crazy. We're gonna teeter on the stupid here.
Pablo, again, you guys coming out of Minnesota, and I got to meet you guys. What's it been now? 8 or 9 years ago? Maybe it might have even been. I've been here 11 years now. It might have been the very first year when Niles said, "Hey, I got a group of guys coming down here. You got to meet them. You got to give them some shouts out because they've been coming here a long time." They were the figure 8 boys. And was it big boy racing, fat boy racing?
Big kids racing.
Yes,
big
yes.
Kids.
And they sit right down to the right of the announcer's stand.
We're right by the beer stand.
That's mandatory.
That was strategically placement so they could get to the beer.
And it's just the friendship has just grown since then. We love having you guys back on. When you come back to Oktoberfest, man, I mean, you guys have seen the best of the best run this track. Who's going to win Sunday?
Sunday, I would have to put my favorite at probably Danny Fredrickson.
Go with the hometown flavor. Wilson, who you got Sunday?
It's going to be Minnesota, I think. Gady's really good. Murgic, Danny. I mean, this field is unbelievable. I mean, I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Scotty, how about you?
I mean, I got to go with them. It's got to be a Minnesota boy. It's a tough decision, but we got to be pulling for the Minnesota boys.
I got to tell you, we were watching practice here on Wednesday. Nick Panitsky brought out a super late model, and he looked pretty darn quick.
Oh, nice.
If I get to change my pick, it might be quick Nick.
I'll tell you what, if you look at this field this year, I mean, I talked to Tom Majeski on Wednesday. He's running everything. He wants a clean sweep of Oktoberfest. Almost did it 2 years ago, but if you remember back, they took that first segment of the Dick Trickle 99 away from him, or else he'd have had a complete sweep from Thursday on. Does Majeski have a legitimate shot at a clean sweep this weekend?
He definitely has a shot at a clean sweep. He's been very strong here since he's been starting to race here.
What do you think?
You always gonna have to put him into the pool. He's gonna be a part of it, and Noodleman. I mean, it's unbelievable.
The other question now, Bubba Pollard left here very frustrated last year, said he came unprepared, didn't like what he was doing with his tires, didn't like what his gears were doing. He took every single note of his and some other super late model drivers back. What does Bubba do on Sunday?
Wow, that's going to be good. And then how about the tech?
Ricky Brooks is coming up. What is it, the Room of Doom?
Yeah.
I want to see what they name it for Oktoberfest.
Fine-tooth comb in that tech there. I mean, that's going to be good.
The Mess of Fest or something like that.
Now, the main reason we all get together, obviously, is for the racing this weekend. But, Todd, you've talked about this the last couple of years, and I really like your answer. It's not just the racing that brings us all together here.
No, this is all a family deal here. Meeting all you guys. I mean, even people around when we're walking through the camping area, I mean, it's like, hey, we hung out with you last year. We're doing it again. JT, you guys introduced us to JT's last year.
Yeah.
I bet I've been here 10 times in the last year.
By the way, I had a talk with them last night. They wish you lived here.
Yeah, I know. My wife and I have come down here for lunch and then drove back home 2.5 hours.
Especially after the wings that were polished.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Cow.
They're awesome.
But you're exactly right. You guys come down, you do it the right way. You get involved. You don't just sit in the grandstands, watch the races, and we just sit around and drink beer. I remember last year, was it you you looked like a Smurf?
Oh.
When you guys were all dressed up at the exhibition hall
oh,
at the
yeah.
parade?
Talk to us about Boone's Farmia here, Scotty.
Well, they came up, was it 2 years ago? This will be the 3rd annual, but they came up with the Beer Olympics. Basically, it started at the Pink Flamingo guys. They came up with the Beer Olympics, so everyone kind of gets a team, and we like Boone's Farm, so might as well have a country named Boone's Farmia.
It's a huge shout out to Gloria Merrick. She takes care of everything with that.
Alex,
but we do all kinds of different events. We are the 2-time world champions. We're shooting for that Friday.
Again, that's two-time world champions.
2 o'clock on Friday is the event, and it sounds like there's like 10 or 12 teams.
Nice. Oh, and by the way, meet Mayor Wilson of Boone's Farmia.
Yes, and then president of Boone's Farmia.
Well, president. What are you, the treasurer?
I'm the go-to.
He's like the secretary.
just don't get called the sidekick.
Again, some of our favorite guys out here at Oktoberfest, we make it a tradition to get them back on every year. You don't have to hear Paul and mine and Bill's views. They've got views too because they're not only race fans, they've done this for quite a long time. So it's great to have you guys back on, and I'm sure we'll see you in the campground tonight.
One huge thing for me, go to your short track racing. We lost our track because people weren't going. Go to short track racing. It's the best in the country.
All righty, from Boone's Farmia, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring up a longtime announcer from the state of Wisconsin. That is going to be an interesting conversation. We're going to talk a little Marshfield, which is being represented here today.
Love that track.
7 Rivers Racing.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Big Boar Barbecue is up and running on the north side of La Crosse. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Boar Barbecue. Yes, the food truck is open at George and Gillette Street to make it easier for you north siders to find out why La Crosse County has voted us 4 years in a row as the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, and now open at George and Gillette Street. A delicious mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call today for your free estimate on a new American Standard system or schedule online at carryheating.com.
Welcome back one more time to 7 Rivers Racing from Oktoberfest Race Weekend. Billy Doc Niles, me, Radio Man Dan Dyker, the stat man Paul Reicher. I want to remind you we're going to live stream the show on Saturday from the exhibition hall at noon at the same time we do the radio show. And boy, we have had stars after stars after stars come on the big show Saturday.
Projected to join us hopefully this Saturday. Tom Refner and Mark Marzovka, hoping to get Mike Miller up on stage. Our good buddy Kevin Ramsel will be joining us for the whole show. It's getting you all set up for the Oktoberfest 200 on Sunday.
You know, one of the neatest things about Oktoberfest Race Weekend is we've talked about the racing, we've talked about the family. This is like the largest family I've ever been a part of. I mean, it's just fantastic. And it's the different racetracks that are represented. I don't even think we talk about it that much, which I really think we should. Is there are, 8, 9 different racetracks represented out here during Oktoberfest Race Weekend. And one of those is the Marshfield Motor Speedway. And we're going to bring on their announcer, A good friend of ours, Brandon Aschenbrenner. Brandon, how are you, my friend?
Doing good, thank you. Yeah, it feels great to be on the stage, first off. That's a pretty cool experience.
It's my first experience, too.
Is it? Oh, there you go,
right?
And
he did this for 32 years.
Yeah, right? Well, that's a pretty good deal to be on for the first time. I appreciate the invite.
You know, I think Marshfield Speedway is probably one of the biggest hidden gems in Wisconsin. I mean, what a beautiful layout for a track, beautiful facilities for the fans, and you guys get some great competition up there too.
Yeah, absolutely. It really, we tend to put on a pretty good show when we're able to get a decent amount of cars. We're really working hard on that this year, and now going into next year, kind of building off of that, and hoping to really work with the CWRA series, who's been doing a lot of great work, even reaching down here, by Toma Sparta Speedway as they were. So we're really looking forward to working with them next season and really building the car counts. And yeah, I think I grew up at Marshfield, so it's obviously my favorite track, but I think it's not just the prejudice. I think it's really a nice, really a nice facility.
It is one of the better facilities in the Midwest. I'd say one of the top 3 at least.
Oh yeah, very, very good. And we've always had some great racing, and especially the fall shootout, which took place last weekend. There's some great racing there again with the CWRA and a lot of the support divisions. So yeah, really looking forward to next season there as well. And it's always some great racing side by side.
I'll tell you what, CWRA, we got our first glimpse of them this year when we had the Fall Classic at the Toma Sparta Speedway. What we have, Paul, 22 cars. 22 cars. Man, was that an outstanding Sunday when they ran 2 Dick Trickle Memorial features.
Yep.
And you guys were one of the backbones of helping Dale Danielski and the group, and Tom Ruffner and Mar Marzovka, to get that back to where it is. And you guys had some fantastic races at Marshfield this year with them.
Oh yeah, the CWRA has always put on a great show. And Jeff Weinberger, kind of the grizzled veteran of that series, he ended up winning the championship at Marshfield. But yeah, to get, we had 26 cars, 24 started the feature at the fall shootout, and a lot of new cars, even some of our lacrosse cars here, the lacrosse late models made their way.
Rob Christian's car there with Jason Stark driving it.
Yep, absolutely.
And we've had a lot of lacrosse drives. Guys, I think Jeff Thompson ran there last year. As a matter of fact, about 3 or 4 of our sportsmen went up there and ran, and Jeff said he had never ran there before. It was a bucket list track, and said he just had a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always been great racing. I mean, you got to experience it. We had Paul over there even this year. So
I've raced my sportsman and my late model there, and it's always been a blast every time I race there.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed about Marshfield in my first experience, I think, was 3 or 4 years ago. It was a memorial race on a Sunday. And it was a bucket list track, never been there. Loved the bar. I mean, that was one of the...
Everybody loves the bar at Marshfield.
One of the cleanest facilities I have been in. They had closed TV for the race that was on. They had the cup race in the corner. The cocktails were that big for $5. Holy cow, was that outstanding. But it was part of a memorial race, and another reason I wanted to get Brandon on is, I'm not sure, I should have did my homework, how many years now you've had a memorial race for your mother, which is widely popular.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be going into our 3rd year this year, so our 3rd annual event. Again, it's going to be that 2nd Saturday of June, because that was right around her birthday, and also when the car accident happened that took her life. So to be able to run that at our home track at Marshfield, and to bring in the series like we did the ARCA Midwest Tour the first season, and then this last season we brought in Tundra, and that really, I think, turned out well for both Tundra and for the truck series and everybody that was there, including the vintage series. So I think that's probably where we're heading, but that's for sure going to be the date. So I think it's like the 8th, I believe, without looking, but the 2nd Saturday of June.
I mean, everything that I do when it comes to motorsports, TV and announcing and all this other stuff. You have done something that I have never done in announcing, believe it or not. And I always think back how you can do it. You're announcing your mother's memorial race. That's got to be a hard thing to do, man, because you're talking about your mom during this entire thing, and your feelings have got to come out sooner or later.
Well, right, absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't had to, do the whole event, so I have been able to kind of step away for the touring series.
What he's angling for is to be the backup here.
Right? Yeah,
it's just something I've not done. I don't have a memorial race on behalf of a family member.
Right.
And when I was up there a couple of years ago, I thought, man, I wonder how he does that. I mean, you got to dig down deep to not have your emotions come out, because all these people are there to celebrate your family.
Well, one of the toughest things was actually the Wednesday after the accident. We had a race there, the Dick Trickle Memorial, and we had Kenny Wallace coming. So first off, I mean, that was within the same week. And then it actually, what really kind of put it over the top for me was down on the track, I was kind of just going to let Kenny Wallace be himself and not be a autograph seeker or anything like that. And I walked by him, and he actually said, "Hey, you're the other announcer, and I heard you lost your mom. I'm really sorry to hear that." And that just kind of brought around, again, that whole family aspect, and our whole family was out there, and that's where we belonged, was at the racetrack. So yeah, that was probably the hardest event, but to keep carrying on the tradition like Mom would have wanted us to is really what's kind of keeping that driving going.
Real quickly, what does Oktoberfest race weekend mean to you?
Oh, it's again.
I mean, as a race fan and an announcer, I mean, you and I get best of both worlds here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really, again, tradition. I've been coming here since far before I could remember with Mom and Dad, always camping out and always being here. And this is something that I schedule PTO next year when I get back on Tuesday.
Nicely done.
I do the same thing in January when the calendar flips. I take this week off.
Well, since I announce here, I think I'm on the 20-year plan.
Yes, exactly.
Every time it rolls around.
That works out well.
Brandon Aschenbrenner, the announcer at Marshfield, we greatly appreciate you coming on the program. Kudos to what you guys got going up there, and continued luck and success.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty. And Brandon Aschenbrenner, of course, you can just check them out on Facebook or go to their website. Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to do it for us. Billy Doc Niles, Brandon, Paul, and myself. Again, we're going to live stream the program on Saturday. Brandon, we're inviting you. We're getting Pizza Oven pizza in there this year.
Well, then for sure, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting food in there this year, and a lot of the stars from
what you got to
the
do
past.
is get there early because Diker usually gets there first, and we get none.
Yeah,
that's why I told him that we do the show at noon, but I told him to bring the pizza at 8.
There you go.
I want to thank all of our sponsors, Big Boar Barbecue. I could really go for some burnt ends right about now too.
He went from pizza to barbecue just like that.
Without
I want to thank fansarena.com. They did the shirts. Of course, Epic Media and Back 40 Wraps. They didn't do this one there.
The temperature just dropped this week. Make sure you get that heater checked out.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry because this is Wisconsin. We are coming up on winter. I want to thank Jesse and Rick for helping us out on the program. Again, Saturday noon, watch the live stream at KQEGTV.com and check us out on Facebook. Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing. On behalf of the gang, I'm Radio Man Dan Diker. We will see you at Oktoberfest.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.